Oh my god.
Right? Right. I already know it. Because I was sent me the first invitation.
Cool.
The second one? 30. All right, we have gotten. All right.
In the lobby and joining. So, all right. Well, hello everyone, and especially those that watch the stream back after they race it. We know you're our main demographic. Welcome to the Darlington Raceway in Darlington County, South Carolina for the Bojangles Southern 500. Tonight, I am joined in the booth by Charp. Charp, how you doing?
Doing pretty good, Vince.
All right. Well, we're going to tackle the track that is too tough to tame here. The old lady in black. She's going to give out plenty of stripes here tonight, as they're already green. Shadowhawk has taken the lead away from Big Jim. Big Jim's on our pole tonight. Who won the pole tonight?
Big Jim on the
where is he?
On the pole, but he did a car switch. He did not have his throwback scheme in, so unfortunately Big Jim to the back of the field due to technical difficulties.
Oh, he gave away the pole to set up his
you had one job, Big Jim. One job.
Friends across the pond like to say, to change up his livery, however the fuck they say it. Oh, dollar and swear jar. The 19 NARL Lewis currently in the lead, but he's under fire from that 43 of Shadowhawk. Shadowhawk's got the preferred line going down here into turn 3. Oh, Lewis must have sent it in there.
Heavy braking zone here, and you got to be careful, but a lot of give and take early on. There's just not a whole lot of room to make passes here. Joe in that third spot, last year's winner at this track, looking to see if he can take advantage of mistakes. Everybody pretty much riding. They got a couple guys double foul. Oof, that's gonna be tight.
It's especially going to be tight here at Darlington Raceway. Those dotted yellow lines, it's a suggestion, you know. Every track that we go to besides the super speedways, there's no out of bounds mark. However, do not go below those dotted yellow lines. So as you see, there's barely 2 lanes to get around this track. Go ahead, Shadow. You're tag on it. I'm not drunk. You're drunk. Go ahead, Sharp. I'm on Shadow.
Yeah, I'm just looking throughout the field here. NARL Lewis continues to lead here. I'm just watching all the guys go throughout the track. Everybody's utilizing a different line here as Joe's trying to make a move on Shadowhawk. We had Draven in the 4 all the way below that white dotted line here. He's dropping well behind these guys. He's lost about 3 spots, now 4 spots just in this last straightaway. Oh no!
We
have some contact back here.
K-Bart's
in the wall.
The 12. K-Bart makes hard contact with a black car back here.
The 42's around. The 10 is around.
Is that gonna be a caution? That's the first caution for cause.
I believe that's a caution.
Well, I'll be daggone. That's why I was telling you about that dotted white line. Don't go below it there. Draven went below it just barely, and he was sitting there trying to save it. Got into K-Bart into the wall, and around he went.
And that's just another thing about Darlington is there's just not a whole lot of room in these corners here. It's tough to go side by side here early on in the race. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of give and take right now here. A couple guys were side by side and unfortunately got collected with each other here, and you see what happens with the early incident there. But depending on who comes to pit road, that also gives them an opportunity to make some early adjustments. I'm not sure what you can do to your race car. The longer the run goes on, the track does tend to loosen up a little bit, especially coming out of turn 2. So that may be something these guys are going to look to adjust on early.
All right, so here we go, back under the green flag with NR Lewis currently leading this field down into turn 1. Oh, he went below that little dotted white line there, trying to get the car to turn a little bit better. That 43 is Shadowhawk in the throwback scheme, running P2 at the moment. The one of you already heard. Oh, we got a lot of contact back here.
Oh, Ivy Allen making start tonight here in Darlington, getting the call up. He's been running very well in Xfinity over the last couple of weeks, picking up some momentum as he has locked himself into the Xfinity playoff. Oh, Swamp Fox in the wall on the inside.
Oh, K-Bart
Kelvin down. Oh, K-Bart around again.
Yep, second caution. This is going to be a short race, boys.
Yeah, once again, just not a lot of room to run around, and unfortunately, that's the second time that Swamp Fox has gotten collected up in an instant. You see Draven slow in the back. Couldn't tell who else so far.
They got into that?
Looks like Kelvin got involved. Last race winner at Indy got involved. K-Bart involved for the second time. So early on, these guys trying to get everything they can on fresh tires here, but that's gonna be back on everybody's mind. We're coming down to the last 3 races here. Everybody trying to get all the points they can. People trying to make up points before these playoffs start.
All right, and back under green we are with the 19 of NR Lewis once again leading this field down into turn 1. The 32 of Gator Mike starting behind him in P3. The 43 of Shadowhawk P2. The 00 of LD Allen starting P4.
Joe in the wall.
Oh, that's so tight.
That's
back
gonna
there.
check the field up
again.
again.
No, somebody's in the inside wall. I don't know who it is. The 8080 Lieutenant Crunch, she's
Lieutenant
on
Crunch.
champion.
Finding trouble early. That's going to hurt his odds at stage points unless another yellow comes out. Try not to jinx the field here. These guys are starting to get single file here. Clean line around, coming to the backstretch into the heavy braking zone. Big Jim all the way up to 5th already, utilizing the very high line around that outside wall as he's looking to see if he can make a move on Gator Mike here to get the 4th spot. As he is taking a look underneath him now.
We've got some tight racing throughout the field here tonight so far. Still in stage 1. That one of you already heard. He won last year's race here at Darlington. Let's see if he can't make his way back to the field and try to repeat.
Jim got right to the back bumper of Gator Mike, but checked up. Didn't run him up the track. Nice veteran move out of Big Jim.
And look at Ellie Allen holding on to P3 pretty strong. Oh no, the commentator curse.
The commentator curse. And I was just about to comment on him that he's been doing very well in the Xfinity Series this season. He is 4th in the standings right now and officially locked into the Xfinity playoffs, so definitely deserved the call tonight. He's trying to get a good finish and show that he can belong with these guys tonight.
All right, he dipped below that little dotted white line there. Got a little loose. Joe giving him plenty of room. He's going to fall back into P, I think, 5.
Yeah, Joe trying to work his way back to the front. He slipped a couple spots there. He gets a good run off the corner, and now he's on the outside of him. What are these guys going to do?
Oh, Kevin's in the wall. Watch
close.
out.
Oh, Kevin's in the wall.
Let's go stack up the field. Don't go 3 wide at Darlington. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no. LD Allen with a nice move to the inside, though, able to take advantage of the slip. Oh.
And up
that's
here,
just tight.
Gator Mike letting Big Jim go into turn 1 there. Oh, Kevin's in the wall again.
Oh, Kevin in the wall again. Oh, Swamp Fox into him.
I think Gator saw that Big Jim was faster and just let him go. Up here for P3.
Trying to get back to the front there. This battle for the lead. Shadowhawk, not quite there. And Lewis hanging strong in the lead. Shadowhawk, he's been one of the hotter drivers in the series the last couple weeks. Looking for an opportunity.
Oh my goodness, all these guys are getting loose off the turns now. This is going to be hectic. This is our longest run of the season so far. Not season, I'm sorry,
14,
the race.
14 of Captain Killian got loose and was able to save it. And he's backing the gas on the inside of it. Looks like Ronnie Mack. Ronnie Mack having none of it early. Oh. Draven moving to the inside of LD Allen for that spot. I'm not quite sure what spot that was.
Oh, Allen's falling back here. I
it
wonder
looks
if
like
he's
6.
just
Yeah,
letting these
LD
guys go
Allen
early.
struggling a little bit with the handle of that race car right now.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, once again, this is the longest where they want it to be.
Yep. That's one thing. They
Drew's
didn't get to run a
Just
ton of laps early, so they can only make so many adjustments on their cars. You know, the longer this run goes on, they'll start to get a little bit of a better feel for what the track's going to do, what they need to do for a longer run. Because I feel as the race goes on, these guys are going to pick up what they need to do to be able to run with each other side by side. Ronnie Mack looking underneath LD Allen here, and these guys bouncing off each other.
All right, how many laps to go do we have? Do you know?
All right, I'm checking up on that right now. Let's see. Still plenty of time. 28 laps to go right now.
All right, and these guys are already that loose coming off the corner, so watch out. I got to think, well, they might have to pit as loose as they are. If not, there's definitely going to be another caution, I feel like.
I'm not entirely sure what the fuel run looks like, but yeah, definitely tires could be a factor here. And
all right,
Lewis
Sharp,
is,
what's so unique about this track that is so hard to tame, the track that's too tough to tame? Why is that the case?
this track will throw out all sorts of challenges at these drivers here. You have only so much banking on this track. You can carry a lot of speed in 1 and 2, but 3 and 4 is a heavy braking zone, and then there's just not a lot of room to navigate these corners. And if you don't hit your mark entering turn 1 and turn 3, that car is going to want to jump right to the wall. And as we've seen tonight, there just isn't a lot of room for error in these corners there. And if somebody's coming with a full head of steam behind you, that could stack up the field in a hurry there. Turn 2, I think, is the biggest challenge for these guys tonight. You can get very loose on corner exit if you aren't careful about how you hit your marks right on exit. So these guys are definitely going to be adjusting for that as this race goes along.
All right, what is the? I guess what's the biggest difference between turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4?
1 and 2, you're able to carry a lot more speed than you would in 3 and 4. 3 and 4, it's just so compact down there. I mean, you have to get the car, slowed down because of how tight turns 3 and 4 is. 1 and 2 is more spread out. There's a little bit more room to hold that speed throughout the corner. Turn 3, you can really get yourself in a bind if you aren't able to get on the brake fast enough, and that car can slide out from under you in a hurry.
All right, so an egg-shaped track that we have here tonight in Darlington County, South Carolina. A 1.3 mile track. It was supposed to be 1.5 miles, but do you know the story behind that?
To be quite honest, I am not entirely sure about that story, so if you want to enlighten me on that, I'd love to hear about it.
Sure. So, it's supposed to be 1.5 mile track, so when they come out here and they decided to build the track, if I'm not mistaken, and I can pull up Wikipedia real quick if you'd like me to, but I think Bill France was the one that wanted to build this track. I could be wrong. I'm sure somebody will correct me eventually. Well, anyways, they came out here and they tried to build the track. There's a minnow pond out off of turn 3. And what's all this is coming from drunk memory, so I'm sure somebody will correct me. There's a pond in one of these turns. I'm assuming it's turn 3. That's why it's sharper than turns 1 and 2. They refused to sell the land to the track development company. So instead of, forcing their buyout because they couldn't, they built the track around the minnow pond. Well, not around it, in reference to the minnow pond. And that is why the track is an egg shape. Turns 1 and 2 which used to be turns 3 and 4, is wider than turns 3 and 4. 3 and 4 are sharper. The start-finish line used to be on the other side of the track. That's why you still see grandstands on that side, and the main road coming into Darlington Speedway comes on the back stretch of the track. 88's in the wall. So, a lot of history.
Shadowhawk and Lewis, I'm not trying to interrupt you, they both slapped the wall coming out of 2. It looks like that turn 2 exit is starting to catch these guys a little bit here. Just before you get back to finish your story, they will be just a few laps short on fuel unless some guys decide to try to save, but I believe they're going to be about 2 to 3 laps short based on when they pitted in the stage after that second caution came out.
Oh, nice. So it's just a green flag stops here. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, 19 to go right now, and I'm gonna verify it when Big Jim swaps throughout the ticker, but Big Jim he's slowly, I mean just ever so slowly, been gaining a little bit of ground on him. He's about a second and a half back right now, so some ground to make up, but Big Jim has been creeping into the picture a little bit. He's starting to catch these guys.
Yeah, once again, Big Jim, our pole winner here tonight, backed out of the lobby to put his throwback scheme on there, honoring Darrell Waltrip in that FedEx throwback, whatever you want to call it. But Darrell Waltrip used to run in the 17, I believe. Either way, we all know Waltrip ran a lot of races in the 11 as well, so it still counts. We got somebody on pit road already. Who's this? Joe. Joe's on pit road. But just put the bow tie on the end of my story there. The start-finish line used to be on what is now known as the backstretch. And that is why when you come into Darlington Raceway, you come down the main highway, and then you got to go down some back roads if you want to go to where the free parking is, and head up to where the front stretch grandstands are. Because if you try to enter where the backstretch is now, they're not going to let you in.
Get our mics on pit road.
A lot of history.
So we might see some varying pit strategy over here.
Oh no, somebody merged too soon. Oh no, never mind.
Who's
he's just
that?
damaged. It's Crunch. He's
keeping it out of the way of these guys here. He had some early damage in the beginning of the stage here, and he's just trying to hang on here, beat the first car a lap down, get back on the lead lap, and try to get back in contention for stage 2.
I think he's just admitted that this might not be his track. I don't know. He could end up winning this thing, but
yeah, he definitely went a lap down, so I think he's just hoping to stay just one lap down. Still got plenty of racing left to go.
Trying to get back to Big Jim. There he is. Oh, Big Jim took over P2 while I was jabbing her away.
Yeah, not even paying attention here. I've seen the car been stepping out on NR Lewis just a little bit the last couple laps here, so that may be something he'll be looking to adjust here when this first stage ends here. I'm not exactly sure. Oh, Shadowhawk got loose. Big Jim's had that car on the bottom of the racetrack the entire run here, and he's been making it stick. Slowly been making some time on the leaders, and now up to second place. He lost a little bit of time getting around him, but now he's going to try to cut away that lead as he tries to catch up with Shadowhawk here. Shadowhawk, Big Jim, NR Lewis. The top three. I can't tell who is 4th and 5th at the moment. There's a large gap, so I'm not sure if everyone else has been coming to pit road or who has been staying out. Calvin's on pit road.
Shadow kind of driving away here on these late run tires, even with Big Jim.
$11 laps to go. What kind of strategy are these guys trying to do? Are they trying to go all the way to the end of the fuel run, gas and go, gas in 2 tires? Or is somebody going to wait till about 3 to go, full tank, 4 tires, stay out. What's the game plan?
Now, do you think these guys running P1, P2 as we have another one on pit road? I think that might be Swamp, maybe. I think so. Now, these guys running P1, P2, did you think they pit on that last caution and they may have saved a lap?
From what I saw, it looked like they had stayed out, but they might have been very easy. I mean, it was a very quick yellow, so unless you had some damage where it seemed like a couple guys in the back did, or maybe somebody didn't like the adjustment they made, it looked like these guys stayed out under that last caution, because I saw Big Jim had pitted on the first yellow, and he made up a lot of spots when they went back green. So I have to assume that these top 3 or so guys all stayed out when they went back to green. That gap between first and second has been staying the same the last couple laps here, so it looks like whatever charge Big Jim had trying to catch up to Shadowhawk has stalled out for the moment.
All right,
but we noticed that Shadowhawk has had that long run car throughout the season.
He really has. That's been his calling card. How many laps to go do we have? Do you know?
About 8 laps to go right now.
All right, as we are on board that 43 of Shadowhawk, throwing it back to the Adam Petty scheme of the 90s or early 2000s, the Victory Junction Chevrolet Camaro for Richard Petty Motorsports. And I'll be daggone, man, this car just screams 90s, doesn't it? The orange, the green, the purple.
Oh yes, it does, and it's a beautiful paint scheme, very underrated one. I feel. Oh, here comes Shadowhawk.
Coming down pit road. Here comes Jim following him.
Jim's
oh, Shadowhawk, the mistake, coming into pit road, into the inside wall, and Big Jim just flies right by him.
Oh,
man, the camera was in the right place at the right time, huh? Lewis already on pit road. He's getting service to his car already. He might actually come out on top of these guys. I don't know. A lap earlier than Jim, and a lap earlier and mistake-free than Shadowhawk. We'll just ride on board of Lewis here as he's coming out.
All right, here comes Lewis off of pit road. I'll keep my eyes on him to see where he blends into this traffic.
There you go. He's on the back stretch.
Yep.
He's staying low here, letting LD Allen pass him. I don't know if that's for position. Thank you, 704.
I'm not exactly sure if LD Allen pitted already, if he stayed out.
Or maybe he's on 2 or whatnot. I don't know. But here goes NARL Lewis.
It's going to be close.
Pass him. Well, he's going to have the high side of 1 and 2 anyways. He's definitely going to pass Shadowhawk.
Coming off of pit road. Big Jim's off of pit road already, blending up.
Oh, so Big Jim's going to resume the lead. It looks like Lewis is going to be running P2, but it's going to be half a straightaway back.
We have some guys who have not pit yet. Big Jim is in 7th at the moment. Shadowhawk finally coming up on the track. He's behind Joe at the moment, coming into 3 and 4. NARL Lewis 2.5 seconds back of Big Jim, running 8th with Gator in 9th. You got Williams and LD Allen both ahead at the moment, but I'd have to assume those guys have not pit yet.
Draven getting out of the way of Big Jim, as I don't know if that's for position or not either, if Draven's pit yet or not.
He let him go. That was for position, so Big Jim, crap, nope, sorry, that wasn't.
Oh, Ronnie Mack, super
4 laps to go.
Who's
I wonder
leading?
the guy. I honestly can't tell.
You see on that bottom left, it's got a number running around the track.
Ronnie Mack's in 3rd, so I'd have to assume whoever's in front of Ronnie Mack. Let's see where Ronnie's at. Ronnie's in front of Big Jim. Big Jim passing him, but it's not a pass for position.
So on the bottom left of that stream that you're watching,
the 12 car is your leader.
12 car. Let's flip over to old K-Bart.
Just cycled him out.
LD Allen on pit road.
All right, so he's coming to pit road now.
So K-Bart maybe on some strategy.
And actually, K-Bart has Big Jim a lap down.
Oh, so here comes the 12
Whoa.
of K-Bart. That might be if K-Bart can make this stage stretch to the end. I think he's only got 2 or 3 laps
That's the white
to go
flag
here.
right here.
Oh
This
my
is it.
goodness.
Can K-Bart make it?
This is it? This is the last lap?
I believe this is it, yeah. Big Jim a lap down. It showed he had 2 to go, but since he's a lap down, this will be it for the leader.
Oh my goodness. That'll be a huge story. Let's see if and that's it. K-Bart wins the stage. My goodness, he's going to trap all these cars a lap down. K-Bart with a stage win.
What a strategy move out of K-Bart here to get not only the stage win, the points, but now he traps a lot of these more stronger cars a lap down. So K-Bart, Captain Killiam, Ronnie Mac Draven, Mr. Williams, your top 5 in stage 1.
Wow, so all that early trouble may have played out for these guys if they were able to pit when these other guys didn't, and got those extra 4 or 5 laps out of this. My goodness,
Big Jim is the first car a lap down, so he'll get the free pass and the opportunity to get 4 fresh tires and fill the car up with fuel. The rest of these guys, this is going to be a toss-up here.
Wow. So
six cars with Big Jim on the lead lap.
Wow.
I will get back to you as soon as they go back green. But what a turn of events here. My goodness.
And quickly, too. So all these fast cars stuck a lap down as we have the 12 of K-Bart leading this field to green. He's going to have a bunch of TJR cars around him. He's going to have the 14 of Captain Killam on the outside, the 4 of Draven behind him, and then the 10 of Mr. Williams behind the 4 of Draven, the 2 of Kevin behind Mr. Williams. On the outside there, well, now is behind Draven, is that 42 of Ronnie Mack, the 32 of Gator Mike, now behind Mr. Williams. And I think, like we said, the top 6 is on the lead lap here. The 4 of Draven missed that corner a little bit. Ronnie Mack's going to
they did have a couple guys that took the wave around. Gator Mike, Shadowhawk in front of Big Jim. They're running 12th and 13th, still a lap down.
Those guys with the wave around is going to be on some old tires here. They need a caution soon. A lot of guys in the wall back there. It looks like Swamp and maybe Mr. Williams in the wall there. Turns 1 and 2.
Oof. That's just tight racing there. My goodness.
Talk about tight racing. We've got a race for the lead up here. The 12 of K-Bart, the 14 of Captain Kill, and the 4 Draven's in the wall on the outside. He gets hit in the bumper from the 2 of Kevin.
Just not a lot of room to be navigating here. Eddie Allen just passed Big Jim for the 6th position. That's big. They're looking to the inside of Mr. Williams right now. Mr. Williams is not giving this up easily. Oh, Eddie Allen checked up for him. Ooh, that's just close.
All right, up here in second, we got a... Oh, Aldi Allen goes around. He saves it. No caution, single car incident. But up here for a battle for second, we got that 42 of Ronnie Mack putting all the pressure in the world on that 14 of Captain Kill him. And K-Bar's just driving away. He's like, yeah, you guys go ahead and race. I'm just going to hit by the marks.
Cruise on and save the car. Oh, Kelvin got in the wall. Gator Mike able to look to the inside and pass him going into turn 3. I'm not sure what position that's for.
I gotta tell you, man, Darlington is just fun to watch. If it's rather in person, on TV, on virtual TV, whatever you want to call this. Darlington is just a fun track to watch. I mean, it is just so tough. For one, you only have 2 lanes around this whole track anyways, and the bottom lane is still dominant, so good luck. And
if you really want to call it 2 lanes, I mean, it's just, you could barely get these guys side by side without any contact there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the racing surface is only 2 lanes wide, so good luck. And then, of course, you know, the corners being different dimensions. Turns 1 and 2 are a lot more banked than 3 and 4. And I mean, it's just, it's ridiculous. It's great to watch. And I think it's really one of the only tracks with stands still on the back stretch. A lot of tracks took the stands out on the back stretch, to include Daytona, Richmond. Martinsville still got some out there, but I think they only sell it to like banner advertisements. I don't think they have seats for people.
Right. Tell you what, that battle for second heating back up again. Ronnie Mack had slipped a little bit, lost a little bit of ground, but he's caught back up to the 14 of Captain Killiam, putting all sorts of pressure on him.
Oh, the bumper applied.
Oof. These guys are both catching K-Bart, though. Oh, Captain Killiam in the wall twice.
So
just
Ronnie
as I
Mack
say, they
here.
were making some ground up. Commentator curse again. Bummer.
Back there, Shadowhawk is battling Draven really hard back there for the P4 position. Oh, Captain Killiam letting the 42 get to the outside. Looks like he might just let him go here. There he
Still
goes.
early in the race. No need to be fighting. Just let him go. Try to hit your mark. Settle back in. You may get back to him.
All right, Sharp, you got it, bud. My camera is on broadcast mode on Captain Killiam. I need to make myself another drink because it's
All
Monday.
right. Oh, we got a caution. Do we have a caution? Never mind. I'm sorry. NR Lewis just slow. What's going on with NR Lewis? He's coming to pit road. An early pit stop. So the 19 of NR Lewis having some issues here early on in stage 2. As K-Bart has began to pull away from these guys, trying to stretch that lead. Try to get as accurate as a top 5 for you as I can here. A lot of guys are a lap down. A lot of guys took wave rounds, so I'm not entirely sure who's on the lead lap, but we have K-Bart, who is absolutely pulling away from this field. Ronnie Mack got in the wall, but he was able to hold off that 14 of Captain Killiam. Right behind these guys, you had the 4 of Draven, the 43 of Shadowhawk, who is a lap down, but trying to be the first car 1 lap down. Gator Mike is also fighting for that free pass. Big Jim running 5th. I'd have to assume that the 4-car Draven is in the 4th position, but bear with me, I may be wrong. Oh, the 4 on the bottom of the racetrack here. Falling in line behind the 43 of Shadowhawk as Gator Mike makes the move to the inside. TK Kelvin right behind him, looking to the inside of that 4-car Draven as well. Oh, Lieutenant Crunch punt. Just barely made some contact with Kelvin. And you got Big Jim here, who's behind all of these cars who are a lap down. You got Lieutenant Crunch, you got Kelvin, who are running 13th and 12th. Shadowhawk, Gator Mike. Oh, contact. Oh, and Big Jim is around. Lieutenant Crunch is around.
The idiot involved as well.
Oh, my goodness.
Was that the
Heavy
third
damage at
caution
11
for the-
car, and there's a caution out. So right now, K-Bart, Captain Killiam, Ronnie Mack, Draven, Big Jim, your top 5 with Mr. Williams. You already heard Swamp Fox and LD Allen in 9th. That's your lead lap cars. Shadowhawk is the first car 1 lap down in 10th. Gator Mark was in 11th position with Lieutenant Crunch, TK Kelvin, both running a lap down as well. While you were away, NR Lewis had some troubles. He had to pit. He is actually 2 laps down, but he only pitted about, I'd say, 3 laps ago. So I'd have to assume maybe NR Lewis is going to stay out to get that wave around.
Well, he's still going to be a lap down here. That's kind of tough. He's been a fast car all night. As at 12 of K-Bart, I'm sure he was not happy to see that caution. He had pulled away from a 2-second lead from everybody else.
He had a huge lead on this field. He was absolutely pulling away from these guys. Mr. Williams, I don't know, did Mr. Williams have some problems? He dropped all the way to the bottom of the racetrack and let everybody go.
I'm not sure.
Oh.
We've got the
Harden's
42 of
for turn
Rodney
2.
Mack. Take away P2 away from Lieutenant Captain Killiam.
Oh.
We got contact back here. Big wreck.
Oh,
We're probably going to
big
see our
wreck.
4th caution. The 2 of Kevin, the 10 of Mr. Williams, the 19 NR Lewis, and the 88 of Lieutenant Crunch again. Oh, the game might be tired of throwing cautions as we're still green
no
here.
yellow.
That
Oh,
12
my
of
goodness.
K-Bart trying to pull away from the pack here. I'm really surprised that was not a yellow flag. Oh, the 42 must have gotten the wall or something. He's deep down
37
into
got
the
into
inside.
the 4, and 4 gets in the wall. Oh, they're 2 wide. 3 rows deep. Almost 3 wide. Oh, that's not going to work.
Oh, man.
Oh,
and they
my
somehow
goodness.
keep it off of each other as the 12 of
How
K-Bar
in
just
the world are they
drives
making this
away.
work? Swamp Fox making some aggressive moves. We haven't seen Swamp Fox up front too much tonight, but here he is, running in 4th position, right behind Ronnie Mack. Ellie Allen has made his way back to 5th position.
If anyone is interested, the Xfinity Bristol race, the 18er, I think it's Christian Eckes running that machine nowadays. Currently, oh, he just gave up. Oh no, he caused the accident. Okay, this is a replay. Oh yeah, he's fucked. He's messed up. Oops.
Meanwhile, K. Barton, that 12 car, is loving all of that racing behind him, and he has absolutely put a gap between himself and the 2nd place car of Captain Killiam right now. He's loving what he's seeing. He's saying, you guys continue racing like you're doing, and I'll just cruise on, save my stuff, and drive away from you guys.
Riley Herbst in the 18, just as a clarification.
Oh, Lieutenant Crunch got some heavy damage on his car. Off the pace once again.
Oh, 14 into the wall. 42 is going to stay behind him.
Oh, Ronnie Mack got loose, but he stayed in the throttle, and he actually gained some time on that 14, and he is doing everything he can to make that outside line work. He just can't quite make it stick up there. Oh, Swamp Fox in the wall back there. Just as we mentioned earlier, just not a lot of room for error. These guys are letting it hang on the edge right now, doing everything they can to gain any little speed around this track without getting that Darlington stripe. Draven kisses the wall just a little bit with Shadowhawk, who was a lap down but back on the lead lap, trying to make some time back up on these guys.
They're all pretty much single file here. Nobody's getting any crazy. How many laps do we have here in stage 2?
Yeah, right now it's all K-Bar right now. He's out front enjoying what he's seen behind him there. He's got plenty of racetrack to work with and pulling away from these guys.
Yeah, they really are. Do you know how many laps to go that we have here in stage 2?
Let's see here. 25 to go. It'll be 24 as they come to the line.
Oh, so these guys may have to pit under green again.
I'd assume they would there. I mean, they had the quick yellow here. Everybody pitted. I mean, tires are one thing. I believe the fuel count is about 36 laps to a fuel run, so they may be good to go on fuel. Tires may be another thing, depending on how hard they push these cars here. But that's something I wanted to ask you. With K-Bar being here all by himself, he can run his line, run his pace. Can he afford to maybe back it down a little bit, save the tires, and ensure that he has enough to be able to make the rest of this run?
No. Oh, shoot. All right, well, here we go. Joe's dying at the moment. Oh, Lord.
Oh.
Yep, Joe's dead.
Oh,
sorry,
Swamp
Joe.
Fox.
That's a good question, but I think we
Gosh.
we don't have a caution. This game is not throwing a caution here in stage 2. They do not care if a car is on its roof or not. My goodness.
Shout out 704 Games.
Oh my God, I can't believe that wasn't a caution. We have 4 cars wreck at the beginning of this stage, and now we have that, and there's still no caution? Well,
Jeez.
I guess I had plenty of time to answer your question. No, if you're K-Bart, unless you know that you can save until the end of the stage, like we saw a lot of cars did, including K-Bart there in stage 1, no, just run your laps, and if you know it's going to be a long run, let's just go ahead and split the stage in half. However, if you think there's going to be a caution, stay out as long as you can, as the 88 just puts himself in the wall and lets the leader go by. Stay out as long as you can, because you got, what, a 2.5, 3 second lead back to Captain Killam there. I mean, there's only so much that you can make up at Darlington on fresh tires. So just stay out as long as you can. Get some fresh tires there for the end. And,
yes, indeed. Don't look now. Big Jim has made his way back up to 3rd spot. He just got around Ronnie Mack. LD Allen hanging tough in 6th place. Shadowhawk has made his way back into the top 5. So 2 of your stronger cars who were stuck in a little bit of traffic early on have made their way back towards the front. Oh, Big Jim! Off the wall in turn 4. Oh. He only lost 2 spots though, so
The old commentator curse strikes again.
yeah.
Oh, Ronnie Mac's on the outside wall. There goes Shadow Hawk around. Big Jim's going to try to capitalize as well. Nope, Jim's going to fall in behind him.
These guys are just running out of room here as the laps wind down here in this run. So to answer your question here, they have enough fuel to make it to the end of this run. But what will the tires look like? Especially if these guys keep on running side by side like they're doing. They're running like it's the last 10 laps right now, going for everything they can get.
Yeah, look at Ellie Allen back here battling these Cup Series regulars for position. He hits the apron there a little bit.
Jim, shuffle. Need a running order. wish we had a running order and a ticker.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
NASCAR Heat 5, please.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. They're a small team.
Yeah. I'm tired of using that as a legitimate excuse anymore, though.
Oh, nobody ever said it was legitimate.
Oh, yeah, it's a long-running joke of the NARL series.
Alright, well, in the real Xfinity Bristol race, Al Geyer currently leading the way, Noah Gregson in second, Brandon Jones P3, Justin Haley P4, Daniel Hemrick P5, and Chase Briscoe. Oh, he just took away P5.
Oh!
Ryan Sieg running top 10.
Ronnie Mac just smoked the inside wall. Doesn't look like a lot of damage on his car, but he got super loose coming out of 4 there. So that's going to hurt his chances of getting stage points here. He's in 6th place. You got a little bit of time to make up on LD Allen, who has found his way
They're 3 wide
back
at
into
Bristol
the
and
top 5.
Xfinity. I'm sorry. I know that's
Oh,
not
gosh.
what we're watching.
No. I forgot they were running Xfinity there.
Oh,
What
yeah.
you think about the Bush Brothers being up in the booth?
I watched like the first hour of it and I almost threw up, so. No, at one point they were talking about the championships that they had won, and Kyle Busch was talking about Kurt's championship, and he was like, yeah, I don't know how he did it. He dominated at Homestead. I was like, okay, cool. And then Kurt got on there, and he was like, yeah, Kyle Busch is the greatest driver ever. He broke his leg at Daytona and still won the championship. Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, I'm done.
I love that false humility that they bring out in each other. They must really hate each other deep down.
They're douchebags. Kurt Busch has leveled out, but they're fucking douchebags. Oh, there's another dollar in a swear jar.
Right? Swear jar.
Kurt Busch has got a lot better, but
Oh, yes.
if Roger Penske gets on the radio and tells you to park his car, you know you're bad.
Absolutely. All right, so not trying to cut off anything from Xfinity, but coming back to our Darlington race, K-Bart still leading, but I don't know if maybe he was taking our advice and cutting back, maybe saving just a little bit, but I tell you what, the 14 at Captain Killian has started to eat into his lead a little bit here, and Shadowhawk and Big Jim are coming in a hurry as well here. We might have a 4-car battle for the lead here before the stage ends. 12 to go next time by.
All right, 12 laps to go here in stage 2. We've got a whole nother stage for you coming up after this one's over. We'll see if that 12 of K-Bart can catch this 37 of Swamp Fox. I think he's already a lap down from earlier incidences. He may be going a lap or maybe even 2 down here if K-Bart can catch him. Or if that 14 can catch the 12. Currently we have 2 Fords leading the pack, P1, P2. And then we got a Chevrolet in P3. And then we got a Toyota P4. And then a Chevrolet in P5. How about LD Allen running P5 here in his first Cup race? That's pretty impressive.
Big shout out to him. As we had mentioned earlier, he's been one of the stronger cars in Xfinity all season long, officially locked into playoffs. Doesn't even have to worry about these next 2 races. He can just go out, race as hard as he wants to try to go for a win, both at the Glen and at Chicagoland here. Getting his first start in the Cup Series and impressing early on here, running in 5th, trying to hold on to set himself up for that final stage. I think, yeah, as you mentioned, though, Swamp Fox did get out of the way of the leaders here, back in line on the track for the time being.
Oh, the
So
43
he was either on
Shadowhawk makes it past 14. The 14 to Captain Kill him in the wall. The 11 of Big Jim's going to have the run. He's now inside the 14. Looks like he's going to
and
make the
he'll
pass
get
as
that
well.
spot as well. Nine to go as they cross the line there, so running out of laps to catch that 12 car. He's been leading all of stage 2 after stretching his fuel out in stage 1 to take that win. He's trying to sweep the first 2.
So, wow, he looks pretty strong, too.
He does. He's been very consistent all night long, other than when he was back in traffic. Once he got out front, no mistakes there at that 12 car. And just needs to run his line for 8 more laps, excuse me. Shadowhawk is doing everything he can to catch that 12 car, though.
Oh, no. Justin Haley just lost a tire coming on the pit road.
No,
like, it's gone.
You hate to see that.
Like, destroyed.
You know, I was really happy for Justin Haley at Daytona last season in real life. That was just a really feel-good moment for a small team like that to be able to take a chance on a strategy call and be able to pull out a win. That, you know, for teams like that that don't get the ample opportunity. Oh, K-Bart just smacked the wall. Oh, my goodness.
Here comes that 43 Shadowhawk. And now he's right on his back bumper. Talk about no mistakes there, Sharp. You know, you gave out the broadcaster curse again.
Yeah. Oh. And
Oh,
Shadowhawk's there now. Shadow's going to look to the inside of him.
Oh, he's below the apron. That's not going to stick.
He's below the apron. He was trying to get everything.
Oh, he's below the apron
again. K-Bart is not letting him have this spot. And
in
doing so, that's allowed Big Jim. It's going to be 5 to go next time by Big Jim, forcing his way underneath.
Oh, P2 goes Big Jim. You're
P2, and he's got him. What a move out of that 11 car.
All the gloves are off. Here we go. 5 to go here in stage 2. The 12 of K-Bart, your stage 1 winner, trying to hang on here for the second stage win of the night. That 11 of Big Jim
got a run.
Big Jim's just fast. I don't know if the 12 of K-Bart can hold on to it, but we're going to have to sit here and find out. And I know this is exciting, but we have a caution with 13 to go in the Xfinity Bristol race, so that's going to get exciting.
Oof.
As well. Yeah.
That's going to make things interesting here. Double file restart. Shadowhawk back all over the bumper of that 11 car.
4 to go.
Oof.
And these top 3 guys, man, we could throw a blanket over these guys. 12 of K-Bart, the 11 of Big Jim, the 43 of Shadowhawk, all within a second of each other as we have 3 to go at the line once they hit it. For stage 2, those all-important 1 playoff point up for
as they come to the line.
Twabart, ooh, excuse me, sorry. K-Bart defending that inside line a little bit down the front stretch.
I don't believe these guys are saving anything on tires anymore. If they're close, they're either going to make it or they're going to let them go.
Nah, it's go time. It looks like K-Bart really nailed that corner there as he pulled off within a car length or 2 in front of Big Jim. Looks like he's going to have another good corner. Oh, no. Oh, he sailed it off in there. In the outside wall. Here comes that 12 of Big Jim and the 43 Shadowhawk. You know, they're not going to show any mercy to the 12. Oh, they did. I stand corrected.
Wow. I honestly thought Big Jim was going to try to force it up high and say, you know what, I'm going for it. But he backed off. Oh, both the 11 and 43 loose coming out of 2. You know, they're definitely not holding back anymore. This is some great racing right now.
Is this 2 to go at the line?
This is actually, I could be wrong, but I believe this is the last lap here.
Okay, so we might have the white flag here in stage 2. The 12 of K-Bart leading the way over the 11 of Big Jim and the 43 of Shadowhawk. And I think that 11, not only does he want to pass the 12, but he doesn't want that position to let go from that 43. Oh, the 11 look low. 12, my goodness, I did it again. The 12 of K-Bart is blocking low again. Oh, he's a little bit below the apron. Let's see if he can make this stick here. It's the 11 of Big Jim. They make contact. Contact out of 4. More contact. Contact. The 11 of Big Big Jim's going to be your stage winner. The 12 of K-Bart comes around on the line backwards.
Oh, my goodness.
Captain Killam P3, I think. And the 43 of Shadowhawk wrecked in the process P4.
With LD Allen rounding out the top 5. Wow, that was an incredible move Big Jim made. He didn't have any room for error there as he backed the corner off just a little bit earlier than K-Bart did. I think K-Bart was anticipating maybe Big Jim maybe diving it straight for the bottom there, and he dove, and they gave him a bad entry. Big Jim backed the corner up a little bit, being he had some room behind him, and he got a great exit. Great race down to the finish, though. And we're not even starting stage 3 yet. We still got a whole nother stage to go.
Yeah, that was just stage 2. Oh, there must have been some damage to that 12. Oh, look at the 10 of Mr. Williams. Is he up here on some strategy? Oh,
Mr. Williams is running in 6th position here.
All right, let me get back to the front. There you go, the 11 of Big Jim leading this field down into turn 1. The 14 of Captain Killam starting on the outside. Starting P3, LD Allen.
82 laps in this final stage, 36 laps to a fuel run. So these guys will have to make 2 stops here without yellows. Oh, these guys are just getting after it here early on in the run.
Oh, the 42 Ronnie Mac puts the door to the 0-0. 0-0 into the outside wall. My goodness.
Yeah, you want to appreciate that one there. That was a bold move out of the 42 there. Unfortunately, carried a little bit too much speed there. And, oh, Mr. Williams puts the 0-0 on the wall. Man, they're pinballing off of this 0-0 here. Not taking any mercy on the Xfinity regular here.
Yeah, no respect given to the Xfinity guy here tonight. Oh, and look, the 12 of K-Bart, your stage 1 and 2. Well, excuse me, not stage 2 winner, but he was strong in stage 2. A little bit back in the pack here. Let's see if he can't make his way back up through here.
Yeah, he had some damage coming to the start-finish line there to wrap up the stage after that contact with Big Jim. He nailed the outside wall. So he had to take a little bit of extra time to fix that damage here, but trying to rebound, trying to get his way back to the front here. He's looking underneath. Couldn't quite get underneath the Ford Draven here.
All right, as we are on board that 14 of Captain Killam, he's got a windshield full of the 11 Big Jim. He's going to try to chase him down, and a rear view mirror full of that 42 of Ronnie Mac. It's definitely a fine line here between trying to chase down the guy in front of you and playing a little bit defensive on the guy behind you. And I know we already kind of touched on the banking and the corner sizes and whatnot. But Sharp, what in the world? Why is Darlington so hard to run?
Oh, it's just unique in its own regard. It can catch you off guard when you least expect it here. The tires will just wear out. This track eats up the tires so quickly here, and as the run goes along, if you don't have your car set up for the long run, it'll grab you, and you got to fight that loose condition at the end. I mean, already not even 5 laps into the run, you can see Ronnie Mac starting to lose it. Oof. I'm
sorry. The 9 of Noah Gregson endured the heck out of the 7 of Allgaier, his teammate in the real Xfinity race. With 4 to go, he wrecked him.
Oh wow. No love between teammates right now.
Oh my god. The 7 of Allgaier, lucky that he didn't get absolutely smoked. He got turned in front of the whole field. Let's see. Chase Briscoe currently 2nd. Harrison Burton P3. Brandon Jones P4. Myatt Snyder P5. With, well, assuming, shoot, they might be in overtime by the time they restart this thing.
Did the caution come out?
The caution is out. Yep, 3 to go.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Who was the leader?
Noah Gregson. He wrecked Allgaier for the lead.
What a teammate!
That's what I'm saying.
That's a thing of beauty. I tell you what, though, this battle for the lead in our race here, Big Jim got a little bit loose. Went to the bottom to protect. Captain Killiam looking to the outside of him. He's got to run. He had to back out a little bit. Shadowhawk giving some room to the 14. Single file again coming down the front stretch.
I know. I keep bouncing back and forth, but I'll concentrate on our race 100% here in a second. But one guy that's super unhappy about that wreck in the Xfinity Series, real Xfinity Series, Dale Jr.
Yeah. Not what you want to see between teammates here, especially as a car owner.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, 9-car strikes again.
Yeah, so you're telling me
Ooh.
that, oh yeah, don't even bring that up. I can go on that for the rest of the race. Anyways. So you're telling me not only did my car get damaged, but it was because of my other driver? Yeah, I'm gonna be mad.
My own teammate couldn't give me any room?
Well, if I'm Dale Jr.,
That's just insult to injury there.
yeah, one driver wrecked my other driver, I'm gonna be upset.
Nah, man.
We're gonna have a team meeting Monday morning. Oh, this is Monday. Tuesday
Big
morning.
Jim smacked the wall a little bit, and Captain Killiam sitting inside of him, looking to take advantage here. Shadowhawk trying to follow him through as Captain Killiam takes the lead away from him.
Oh,
So
I was
Captain
surprised
Killiam up
Shadowhawk
front.
held on to it as
Shadow-
best that he could. He was below that double or the dotted white line going into turn one there, but he held on to it.
He's been one of the few guys. I've seen Big Jim straddle that dotted line. He and Shadowhawk have been one of the few guys that's been able to run down there consistently without the car snapping loose and turning around on him. But as that run goes along, it's going to be more and more difficult to be able to do that. These guys are going to have to be very careful here. I mean, if this thing goes green,
Big Jim in the wall,
Shadowhawk
43 is
makes the move.
Shadowhawk making the pass. He clears Big Jim for P2.
Took advantage of Big Jim scraping the wall. It doesn't take much here. But getting back to what I was saying, if this thing goes green, you're only going to have 2 pit stops. You're only going to have 2 more opportunities to adjust on this car to be able to set yourself up for the end of the race here.
Oh, Al got
Plenty
it.
of
He's
time.
done. Sorry, he parked it. He got out of the car. He's done. Wow.
Oh, Captain Killian went all the way to the dotted yellow line. Contact between him and Shadowhawk. Shadowhawk's in the
on the
wall.
outside wall. Big Jim to P2. Algar went
43
from
didn't like
leading
that
the
move.
race with 4 laps to go to out of the race because of his teammate. That's gotta hurt.
Oh, Big Jim with a nice move to the inside, but no drafting help down here.
So, Captain Killen sells it off into turn 1. He's going to clear both of these guys.
That was close. My goodness. Ronnie Mack's joined the conversation while all 3 of these guys have been running, trying to get the lead here. Ronnie Mack has been able to catch these guys. Couldn't quite make the pass on the 43, but the intensity is definitely starting to rise here. These guys are not giving as much, taking a little bit more, trying to hold their ground and keep their position here on the racetrack.
Oh, Chase Briscoe. He's going to come up here. He's battling the 9 of Noah Gregson for the lead. Oh, a little bit of contact. Brandon Jones. Coming up here trying to take away from Briscoe. Oh, man. 2 to go in the real Xfinity Bristol race. P2 and P3 are battling too hard. Noah Gregson's going to drive away with this thing. White flag.
At least one 9 car is going to win this weekend.
Yeah, Noah Gregson won.
Side by side for second place here. Shadowhawk making that outside line work.
At least
Who's going to give?
At least he wrecked his teammate for a reason, right?
Big Jim cutting the 43 a little bit of slack here. Lets him get the second position here.
Chase Briscoe.
He's got the 42 all over him now. Fifth place, K-Bart. You got Draven right behind him. Looks like he's in 7th with Gator Mike in 8th. Joe's in 9th. NR Lewis, if he's back on the lead lap, has rebounded to get to 10th spot. And then you got Kelvin, LD Allen, and Mr. Williams. I think Mr. Williams might have had some contact.
Oh, what happened here?
Oh,
I'm not sure.
Oh, the 14 in the wall. Oh, he sends K-Bart down low. Oh, big wreck.
Oh, he's destroyed.
Oh, big wreck.
It's got to be a caution, right? Yeah, there's a caution.
Oh, Swamp Fox just... I think that was just a game slowing him down, but Swamp smoked K-Bart. That is a huge wreck. Shadowhawk in the lead, Ronnie Mack, Big Jim, Draven, Gator Mike. You already heard Captain Killiam, K-Bart, LD Allen, Mr. Williams. Top 10 and on the lead lap. NR Lewis is actually going to get the free pass here. with TK Calvin and Swamp Fox still a lap down. I tell you what, I'm a little surprised here. Lieutenant Crunch, unfortunately, he's had his troubles all night long back in traffic. He is 3 laps down. That's not something you see out of Crunch too often this season here. But hey, still a long race to go. Anything can happen.
All right, here we go. Restarting green flag here in stage 3. We got the 42 of Ronnie Mack leading the way as the 10 of Mr. Williams drops to the rear. The 11 of Big Jim starting right behind Ronnie Mack. Need to get a
side by side for second place coming out of turn number 2.
Oh, forcing the cap to kill him hard into the inside wall. He's going to try to come back up the track without hitting nobody, and he does. That's rough for Cap to kill him there. He was battling for the lead there at the end of stage 2. Almost led a ton of laps here in stage 3, and just unfortunate. So the 42 of Ronnie Mack out here leading some laps for the first time here tonight, midway through stage 3, I'm assuming. The 43 of Shadowhawk right on his back bumper. Right behind him, you got the 11 of Big Jim, who's been fast all night, just can't quite make his way to the front, as the 12 of K-Bart into the wall, a little bit of contact with a 00 back there, and the 4 of Draven.
Yeah, it looked like the 4 and the 12 just ran out of room, and
oh, the 43 and the 42, just a slight contact between these two guys. The 42 into the outside wall hard. The 11 of Big Jim's going to make his way past him, and the 1 of you already heard trying to take advantage as well.
Joe coming out of nowhere, showing that he's ready to make a push. Can he clear him? He clears him.
All right, wow. Well, there we go. Probably the 2 fastest car we've seen all night, and all due respect to K-Bart. The 43 and the 11 are now running P1, P2. Your last season's Darlington winner, the 1 of you already heard, currently running P3, running Mac P4. It was that
been running under the radar all night long, and here in crunch time, here he is.
Is that Kevin or Lewis?
He's got a good run on that 11.
I think that's Lewis running P4.
Lewis looks like he's running P5. So
P5.
Right
okay.
as soon as he got on the lead lap, he's wasting no time. He led a lot of laps early on, had some troubles, went a lap down, but he's been fighting all night long and trying to get another shot at this thing.
Look at the 11 of Big Jim wasting no time here. He's looking to the inside of the 43. Looks like he's going to have to let him go for another lap or 2.
Just trying to size him up. He's analyzing where Shadowhawk is running, trying to see where he can beat him as far as time goes. Because this track is so technical here. I mean, you can carry a lot of speed through 1 and 2, as we mentioned, all night long, but there's only so much room down in turns 3 and 4, only so much speed that you can keep before that car wants to start washing up.
Oh, the bumper and put it there from Big Jim.
Oh, he's hounding him. He's looking for any shot he can get to pass him, but watch out, Joe is there as well.
Yeah, he's looking for any little mistake from P1, P2 to get a little bit of advantage here. As the 11 of Big Jim, a little bit of contact made between the 11 and the 43. The 43 is going to be up in the high line, and here comes the 1 of you already heard running P2. Bumper to the 11. Moves him a little bit, per se. A little bit of 3 wide down the backstretch there. The 43 of Shadowhawk battling back to that P1. The 1 of you already heard. 11 of Big Jim falling back in the P3, seeing if he can't make a move off of the corner. But don't forget that 42 of Ronnie Mack, who's led some laps earlier here today. He's looking to redeem his position.
What? Don't look now. NR Lewis also creeping into the picture. He's made his way, as we mentioned, the 5th spot, and he is coming. How about Joe, though, leading his first laps of the night here? Where did he come from?
Well, he won that race here last year. He knows his way around this track. Well, 42 gets into the wall back here a little bit. That should give the 19 a little bit of a run. But the 1 of you already heard trying to make it back-to-back. Now, he's already won 2 races this year. He swept Daytona. Now, they're both plate track races. And, you know, guys tend to say, oh, it's a little bit of luck at plate track races. But I beg to differ. You know, that 1 of you already heard. He's been competitive everywhere he goes. Won this race here last year. I know I've said it 10 times, but I'll say it again. And he's leading laps here again tonight.
It's impressive how he's just been slowly having to adjust on that car all night. Maybe he wasn't happy with the way the car was handling early on in the race back in traffic, but he got that opportunity to get out front, and once he was in position, he didn't waste any time taking advantage of it.
I gotta tell you, P4 and P5 has fallen off significantly, as the 42 of Ronnie Mack's back there, the 19 NR Lewis is back there as well. But these top three are under a blanket. How many laps to go do we have? Do you know?
They're about to be coming to the line here on the stream. As soon as it comes around, we'll see.
Sure.
But now with that caution coming out about middle of the first little bit of the run, as we got 52 laps to go here,
whew,
I believe they'll only have to stop one more time for fuel.
Like I said, these guys are not racing like there's 52 laps to go, that's for sure. At least these top three anyways, they are all out. It looks like the 11 puts a little bit of bumper to the 43 here in the turns 3 and 4.
Just to let them know I'm still here.
He may have backed off a little bit too much as he's falling behind these guys, just a little bit. But this always seems to be one of the longer races of the year. I know that the Coke 600 is that there was a rain delay that affected the Southern 500 last. Oh, Big Joe, my goodness. You already heard messes up, and the 43 Shadowhawk takes advantage. Big Jim in P3 watching it all happen. I'm sure Joe won't be offended by the Big Joe comment, or maybe he will. I don't know. But anyways, I know this is one of the longer races of the season, but and I know last year was affected by rain, the start. But this race last year ended at like 2:30 in the morning. Yeah, myself, you already heard, Mr. Williams, Tino, which is technically still in the league, I reckon. And I think that's it that I know of. We're all in attendance, and now they waited so long to start the races because we had a hurricane coming in on us the very, like 2 or 3 days later. So if they were to postpone the race, they ran into the risk of having that hurricane come in and just not running the race. So they waited until like 10 or 11 at night to start this thing. And
Joe sent it in there. He's looking underneath him again.
And we barely left the stands at 2:30. I ended up falling asleep in my camper at like 3:30.
No.
In the morning. Yeah, ran out of beer at like midnight. It was, it was devastating.
Big Jam caught the wall a little bit. Yeah. That loose off is starting to catch these guys.
I actually had to go pay $8 for a can of beer that night, and I'll never be the same.
No need for that here. I'm going to step aside for just a second here.
All right. Not too much going on through the field here. We saw our top three running there. Oh, the 12 of K-Bart, a little bit of contact with that 42 of Ronnie Mack. 19 NR Lewis, he's been fast all night. A couple of contacts there between the 12 and the 42. Lewis thought about taking it 3 wide there for a second, but he thinks better of it. 12 of K-Bart goes down into the inside, a little bit below the apron there. Contact again between the 12 and the 42. You got to think that 42 is not happy with that. 12 clears the 42. 19 NR Lewis now on the inside of the 42. And he also puts a little bit of contact on that 42. I'm not sure what's going on with that green machine, but nobody's giving it any love. Oh, 12 of K-Bar gets really loose. Lets the 19 NR Lewis go by. Gets in front of Gator Mike. Mike. Goodness there. And he's going to fall behind the 19 NR Lewis there. Gator Mike still running behind that 12 of K-Bar. He also makes it past the 42 of Ronnie Mack. This looks like Swamp Fox is the first one to take the offer on pit road. He's coming off now.
A little early for a pit stop here, unless he had a lot of damage there, but he may have been unable to continue going if that oil temperature was starting to rise up, or he may have been losing too much time, rather coming to pit road and hope for a yellow as after these green flag pit stops are cycled out.
All right, the 2 of Kevin back here in the pack gets into the wall. No threat of losing a position. Sharp, who won the Darlington Southern 500 last year?
Last year? Oh man, who won? Do you know, or you're asking me like if
I know, I was there.
Because I'll be honest,
here's a hint: the car number is not in the field here tonight.
Oh, okay, I remember. Was it? Yeah, it was Jones, right?
Yeah, that Jones boy.
Eric Jones, there it is. Yeah, I remember now. Okay, yep. Throwback 20 car.
The two of Kevin on pit road.
Favorite 20 car.
I don't remember the scheme, but I do know he won.
It was well, it was a Craftsman car, I think. They did a throwback. I forget who it was themed after, I'll be honest, but that was a really nice car. And Jones ain't come out of nowhere. And I'll tell you what, it was he was looking pretty good at Darlington in the second go around before he had some contact.
I'll be honest, these last like 4 or 5 races or however they've been since we've been back, they've all kind of blended together, which is not a bad thing. But it's been like a race every 3 days, which is awesome. But they've all kind of blended together.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think we won't be complaining about the racing like this every day anytime soon here. Unfortunately, it's not going to go on forever. But we've had plenty of entertainment over the last couple of weeks.
Yes, we have. As I cut off my son's toy. Unfortunately, no Wednesday night race this week. But next Wednesday, June 10th, the Martinsville night race. Wednesday night. I think it's at 7. Which is a bummer because I go to almost every Martinsville race. I'm not going to be able to make this one, obviously. I already had tickets for it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, for Mother's Day weekend. But, you know, they gave us the refund plus 20%. So there's only so much I can complain about it.
Well, being there's no race Wednesday night, you can always tune in to our Xfinity stream at the Glen. I'm still waiting for you to commentate on one of our races this season.
Well, Charp, I can't commentate on Wednesday. Do you want to know why?
Oh, bummer.
Do you want to know
why? What's your valid reason?
Because I'm racing it.
Wait, hold on. You're going to be in the field on Wednesday night?
Oh, wait a second. What's going on here? The commentator's going to get on the track.
No. Oh. I honestly, not even in a public live, I don't even think I've raced against you yet. That's okay. Now I really got something to look forward to Wednesday night.
All I got to say is I'm an Xfinity champion. All right? That's all I need. That's all you need to know.
I likes it.
In league play.
All right, so then I guess I'm going to have to ask to maybe get a call down to your trucks one night.
You could do it. That's fine.
Hey, I'll try. But anyway, all right, back to the race tonight here.
We're running Chicago Tuesday.
I'll tell you what, Shadowhawk and Joe have run away with this thing from Big Jim here. Big Jim has caught the wall just a couple times there. Looks like he may be handling of that car going away just a little bit here, but Shadowhawk and Joe have been pretty much bumper to bumper here for the past couple of laps here. Shadow able to put a little bit of a gap between himself and Joe that time. Right. But Joe not letting him get away here.
I gotta use the little boy's room. I'm on. You already heard, so it's all up to you.
Yeah, right. Keeping an eye on the rest of the field here. I'm not exactly sure who's behind Big Jim in 4th. Jam scroll, so I can see the running order. 36 to go. Wish we had a running order. 704. But anyway, Mr. Williams coming on the pit road for what could be his final stop of the night here. Oh, Shadowhawk coming down pit road. Wow. And these guys are going to be on the very edge of their fuel window here, but 36 laps on a fuel tank, should be able to make it to the end here, but this is extremely early. Some guys you would think would wait until the end of the run here. As looks like NR Lewis is coming to pit road. Joe stays out another lap. Oh, Big Jim coming down pit road. We have a couple more takers coming down pit road as well. Looks like K-Bar's coming down. He's ahead of NR Lewis. Do we have any other takers? Mr. Williams coming on track now. Slides up in front of Swamp Fox.
Oh, I didn't come back in the middle of green flag stops. Oh.
Yep, Shadowhawk is coming off of pit road. I was just commenting that this seems like it's a little bit early for green flag pit stops. I mean, they're going to be right on the edge of that fuel window here. Shadowhawk comes down the front stretch. Looks like Big Jim is just now exiting pit road. Trying to come back onto the track. But Shadowhawk, that one lap of extra fresh tire. Oh, he caught the wall coming out of two. But as I was saying, that one lap with tires on the car makes a huge difference. And that could be the difference that gets him the win. Now, Joe stayed out on track a couple extra laps, but he's coming down for his service now. We'll have to see where he falls in line with these guys. As here comes Joe off of pit road, we're going to have to see where he cycles out. And here comes Shadowhawk. So Shadowhawk's going to clear him. 4-car Draven right behind Joe, but I'm not sure if that's for position there. A couple guys still haven't pitted yet. So Shadowhawk, with that little bit of extra tires, was able to beat out Joe and Big Jim. And there's a huge gap back to Big Jim here as these guys are sort of spread out here. I'm not sure, as I mentioned, if Draven is still out on the track or did he pit earlier than these guys?
I'm not sure, but there is a huge difference, like you said.
All right, Big Jim just made his way around Draven, and Draven actually has not pit yet. So Draven running second with the 14 of Captain Killiam in the lead, but Captain Killiam dipping off of pit road. And that'll hand the lead over to the 4-car Draven.
The long game coming into play here, hoping for a caution.
The long run, yes indeed.
I gotta say, I like that scheme though from the 4 Draven.
I do, that throwback outback.
Yeah, the 4.
Bloomin' onion time.
Oh, somebody hard in the wall back here. I don't know who that was. I still don't know who that was. Somebody got hard to the outside wall, no wreck or anything. All right,
Gator Mike and K Bart nose to tail. I'm not sure what position this is going for here, but these guys are bumper to bumper right now. It seems like that's about our best battle on the track right now. Captain Killiam just came back onto the racetrack. He slides in behind Ronnie Mack. So Draven being on pit road, Shadowhawk is now taking the lead away.
Around Shadowhawk. There he goes. Oh, the one of you already heard right on his back bumper. My goodness. This is those one lap fresher tires that we're seeing here. Sure, the Shadowhawk had got that little bit of a lead coming off of pit road, but that one of you already heard now has the advantage here in those one lap fresher tires. Let's see if he can't take advantage over the 43 of Shadowhawk. How many laps to go do we have? Do you know?
I believe it'll be, I could be mistaken, but I believe it's 28 to go. It'll be 27, but I'll verify it.
That's still a long time to go here in the old Southern 500.
So 26 to go right now, and plenty of time to race, so there's no need to rush any moves. I know Joe has a few extra.
Shadowhawk to the outside wall. Here comes the one of you already heard. He's got to run on the inside bumper door.
Contact.
Coming down interior, even. The one of you already heard. To the bumper, he's still there. Clear. You already heard to the lead. The 43 Shadowhawk's going to have to settle for second place.
Now, Joe pitted about 3 laps later than both Shadowhawk and Big Jim there, so as this run goes on, that may pay off for that one car. Joe trying to put himself in position here to go back-to-back here at Darlington, but Shadowhawk not giving up on him. He's trying to get that run back on him.
All right, as we are running these throwback schemes here tonight, we already went over the 43 of Shadowhawk. He's throwing it back to that Adam Petty, Richard Petty Motorsports vehicle. I think he ran the 45 at the time. But, Sharp, the one of you already heard. What was old Kurt Busch throwing it back to?
Kurt was throwing it back to his own paint scheme that he had. Was it on one of his personal vehicles, I believe? I could be mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. But came up with the inspiration to run that for the Darlington race last year. And I've got to say that I really do like it. It's simple in design, but it has its own unique texture. You know, it kind of personifies what Kurt's all about. And I like that Joe is representing for Kurt this season here. And Joe with a chance.
Oh, the 43 getting a monster on the outside there.
Oh, contact between the two. Joe is not wanting to give up this lead here. As we've mentioned all season long that Shadowhawk has had a long run feel to his car. His car seems to come in later in the run here, so Joe has to be aware of that as the run goes along.
That is true. Even on 3 laps, fresher tires from that one of you already heard. That 43 Shadowhawk has had a long run car just about all season long. It's the one of you already heard gets to the outside wall here. Goes the 43 Shadowhawk. He now takes over the lead. But to kind of finish our story there, you're absolutely correct there, Sharp. That one of you already heard, Kurt Busch's throwback is off of one of his own personal vehicles. I believe it was off of one of his 69 Camaros.
Yes. Now that you mention it, yeah, that was the car that he had thrown it off of. It's all coming back now. I tend to get my details mixed up here, so I'm glad that you're here, that you have the whole story situated.
Well, I'm a sucker for Darlington, if you can't tell. But that one of you already heard. The only thing that is irritating me about that car is that deck lid. And I understand that's his sponsor, but those stripes are supposed to be on the deck lid, man. Where are the stripes?
I know that it does tend to throw the car off just a little bit. Why not? You know, the location there it ruins the whole concept. Why?
Like, couldn't Monster put out their I don't know, agave, whatever the heck they want to put out.
I mean, just a one race deal where they didn't have to have the sponsorship on the car, but no, Monster, of course, the sponsor of the entire Cup Series last season, so yes, they had to be on the car.
Yeah, apparently. And I'm not even complaining about that Monster logo by the wheel well. You can have that, but the deck lid, man, come on. Alright, as we have approximately 20 laps to go here, the 43 of Shadowhawk now crosses the start-finish line, heads off into turns 1 and 2, with the one of you already heard right on his bumper, per se. P3 is now...
Oh, Joe just smacked the wall.
P3 just now coming out of turn 2.
Gave up a bunch of time there.
So, do we see another caution here tonight, Sharp?
That it could. These guys are so spread out here. Just 17 to go. You know, these guys have made their bet. They're done with pit stops for tonight unless the caution comes out. If it does come out, obviously these guys will come back down and take tires here. I don't see anybody taking a chance at staying out on old tires because they're going to get eaten alive here on old tires here. But with these guys spread out like they are, unless we have a couple guys going side by side, you know, in the corners, and someone is unfortunate enough to be right behind them and gets caught up, I see this thing going green to the end here.
I don't know. We got a battle up here in front of the leaders. The 10 of Mr. Williams just put it into the outside wall there, letting everybody go by. Looks like the 4 Draven went by. The 2 of Kevin. Oh, the 4. Oh, Mr. Williams. Oh, man. He messed up the lead unintentionally. The 2 of Kevin's going to get out of the way.
And Shadow was trying to go underneath him. Kevin gets out of the way, but another lead change here. Joe back to the point.
The good news is there's still plenty of laps to go, and I'm just estimating here, 17 or 18.
Believe it's 15 as they come to the line. Big Jim is crossing the line now. 15 laps to go.
All right, so 15 laps here at Darlington for the 43 of Shadowhawk to catch back up to that one of you already heard. Unfortunately, that 10 of Mr. Williams unintentionally getting involved into these lead cars. Kind of ran out of things to talk about. I'm sure the one of you already heard's not mad at it, that's for sure.
But the pressure does go back to the one because he had no pressure trying to track down that 43. He has nothing to lose here. He can run as hard as he wants to try to catch back up to him as he gets loose off of turn 2. So now that pressure is all about, you know that the 43 has a long run car. He's had a long run car all season long. He's got to find a way to be able to hold off that 43 if he wants to repeat as your Darlington winner this season. And what better way to get one of the big races this season here? You know that Joe is stepping aside from full-time racing this year, and I've been able to race twice with Joe in the Xfinity Series. It's always a lot of fun racing against him there. So you know that he wants to get one more Darlington win under his belt here before he steps away from full-time racing. But he's going to have his hands full coming down to the end here because Shadowhawk is right back on his bumper here looking for any kind of space he can get to get around him.
I got to correct you there a little bit, Sharp. Joe has already announced that he is coming back for another year next year.
Oh, he is? Okay, so that is something that I missed out on. My apologies, Joe.
It was on one of the broadcasts. It's fine, Sharp. We get it. You don't watch the broadcast.
Okay, so it was on the...
It's fine.
Okay.
Oh, it's fine, Sharp. It's okay. I come up here and talk for no reason.
All right.
I'm just kidding.
Honestly, I really didn't know.
No, it's okay. He only said it once, and it was on a broadcast in a post-race interview, which, admittedly, not too many people watch, which is fine. I get it. It ain't no shade thrown there. But he did. He announced he's coming back for next year. He's excited about the possibility of being on Heat 5. Now, it's not official. None of the front office guys have even talked about it being on Heat 4 or 5 yet. We're focused on this season. But he is excited about, competing in the next season. So the one of you already heard here. And I guarantee you if he wins the race here tonight, he's going to be even more excited about the competition next year. That's for sure. How many laps to go do we have here? What, 8 or 9?
So as we're coming to the line this time by, it'll be 9 to go here. So that pressure just continues to mount for Joe. He's going to do everything he can to run a smooth race here from in or out, but it's going to get tougher and tougher here because they're going to be right at the edge of the fuel window, and so the tires are going to be worn down.
Because they just crossed, so was that 8 or was that 9 when they crossed?
9 as they crossed.
All right, so 9 laps to go here at the track that is too tough to tame as we see it here between our leaders. The one of you already heard got a little bit loose, lost some time, so the 43 dives into the inside, but he's below those dotted white lines. He's not going to be able to carry his momentum as the one of you already heard is going to try to carry that outside momentum here. He is now clear of that 43. The 43 is going to fall back behind the one. The one of you already heard is going to try to dive it down here into turn 1 with 8 laps to go in the race. We got a 2-car battle here for the win.
What a power move out of that one car.
Oh, no, the one got really loose. He lost a lot of time. The 43 into the outside wall. We're going to watch a dogfight here with 7 to go once they cross the line. My goodness.
What a power move out of Joe, though. He absolutely trusted that outside wall. I thought for sure that Shadowhawk was going to clear him, but Joe sent it, and it stuck for him that one lap. As he's trying to pull away. What a run he gets in the entry.
Oh, what a corner.
Wow.
Excellent corner from the one of you.
That was a beautiful corner by Joe. He's got about 4 or 5 car lengths now on Shadowhawk.
Not even loose on exit. That was a great turns 1 and 2.
Wow.
I know he may overdrove 3 and 4. Little bit.
Gets a decent exit. But Shadow had a good overall turn 3 and 4. He's going to pull right back to within a car length.
Was it 7 or 6 to go? I got too excited last lap. I stopped counting.
Oh, there. I'm getting excited myself. Oh, Shadow lost the nose a little bit. 6 to go here. It'll be 5 to go next time by.
All right, so we're getting
Shadow
down
almost caught the wall.
We're getting down to the nitty gritty here with the one of you already heard. Next time he crosses the line, which you'll see here in a second, it's going to be 5 to go. But the 43 Shadowhawk has no intentions of letting him win this race. 5 to go in the Bojangles Southern 500. They got a lap car coming up here into the picture. I can't really
lap
quite
traffic coming out ahead of him. What's he going to do?
Can't see who that is.
Is that Crunch? That's Crunch.
Oh, he'll get out of the way here on the backstretch, I assume. Oh, the 43 got really loose.
Oh,
there goes Lieutenant Crunch.
Crunch pulls the veteran move, gets out of the way. Crunch. Shadowhawk didn't lose as much time as I thought he was going to. He's fighting that car right now. He's doing everything he can to get back to that one car.
And
4 to go.
All right, 4 to go. Thank you for answering my question before I asked. I'm a little bit too drunk over here on a Monday, but that's fine.
I'll be counting it down as it goes.
All right, you already heard diamonding the corner here a little bit. Not something that we've seen all night, but it looks like it's happening with that loose off there, which Shadowhawk is now experiencing as they go into turns 3 and 4. Reminder, turns 3 and 4 is a little bit sharper, a little bit less banking. Going to maintain his lead here, gets a little loose off the corner. 3 to go at Darlington.
It's impressive what these guys are able to do on worn tires, though. You know the handling of the race car is going away at this point of the race, and yet they're still full throttle all the way through, trying to get everything they can out of that car. And despite the loose condition, really able to run a decent line there. Shadow lost a little bit of time to Joe there. Those 3 extra laps might come into play there. Joe trying to hang on here. 2 laps to go.
All right, 2 laps to go here in the Southern 500, one of the longer races on the NASCAR Cup Series schedule, not only in terms of mileage, but as far as literal time. It just seems to take a little bit longer to get around this 1.3 mile track. It's the one and the 43 gets loose. My goodness, they're going to come back around to the white flag here, comes into turn 3, and then both of these guys are battling just not to wreck their race cars.
They're battling the track and each other. White flag is out. Who's going to take it?
The one of you already heard crosses the start-finish line. He sees the white flag presented by Credit One Bank. He comes into turns 1 and 2, floats up the track just a little bit as we've seen out of him here this past 10 or so laps. I wonder if these lap cars are going to come into play here. The 43 Shadowhawk's got a little bit of a run here. It's the last lap. What is he going to do? The one of you already heard sends it into the corner. The 43 Shadowhawk, he's looking.
Can he make it stick?
He's looking. He can't make it happen with the one of you already heard. The back-to-back Southern 500 winner. The one of you already heard.
What a race. Wow. Shadow gave it everything he could in turns 3 and 4 and almost got to the outside of him in time. He needed one more lap. What a race by Joe, though. That's a fantastic race by him. Back-to-back.
I don't want to start any controversy or any going back and forth or anything, but I wonder how much of the, what's the politically correct way to say it? The outcome of the race was determined by that lapped car of the 10 getting in the way there, getting a little bit of contact inadvertently from that 43 of Shadowhawk and letting Joe go ahead and take the lead there.
You know, inadvertently, as you said, I do believe it did factor into the race somehow. But, man, Shadowhawk kept his head down, stay calm, composed. I know that he's probably upset a little bit about how the outcome of that race came about, but he had plenty of chances to get back to him, and in the end, Joe was able to hold off.
Yeah, that's very true.
That charge.
We saw a ton of hard battling on the track here tonight, a bunch of fast cars. The one of you already heard, we already know that he won last year. Somehow goes ahead and defends his title and wins this year. Sharp, what did you see out of this race?
Wow, just a lot of aggressive racing. Guys trying to find as much space on the track as they could. It's so hard to run side by side with each other. We have our race winner in here. Joe has joined the party.
All right, yes we do. We sure do. Our 2-time Southern 500 champion. You already heard Joe. How are you feeling, bud?
I feel great. I'm just so glad I was part of that hard racing with Shadow there. I really hate that glitch on 2 at one point. Kind of swerved me from the outside wall and down to him. Luckily, didn't wreck him out, and we still were able to race. But, man, that was just awesome. Just struggled the whole race, but luckily got to the last stage and was able to compete for a win, man. Just so great right now.
All right, Joe, talk about how big of a difference it is that you pit a little bit before that 43. And was that the difference in the race, or was there other factors?
The 43 actually pitted before me.
Oh, excuse me, sorry.
That's a couple laps. I'm not sure how many, but we were actually confused. We thought we had 39 laps on a full run, and actually turned out to be about 34, 35. And unfortunately, we tires burned real quick, so we were kind of pushed. Now I don't know if Shadow was saving it all, but my tire light came on with about five laps to go, and I was just hoping that those tires could stick for me, man. And I knew Shadow was probably thinking the same thing, but just kind of staying out, kind of let me have those fresher tires. But hey, look, Shadow's a great driver. Obviously, he hung out with me the whole time through those extra laps of fresher tires. So, just good job by him.
All right, so you heard it here. To make yourself a good driver, you just got to hang out with Joe. Sharp, what you got for our race winner?
Joe, congratulations, going back-to-back at Darlington. Fantastic racing between you and Shadowhawk at the end there. I brought it up to Avenge, and I thought that you pitting a few laps after Shadow would pay some dividends for you, and it did at the beginning of the run. But Shadowhawk has had a long-run car all season long there, so with that in mind, you fell back a little bit. But then with some lap traffic coming into play, you were able to take the lead. How much was that playing on your mind, as the laps were winding down, trying to hold him off?
Well, they say the toughest thing, I guess, is to pass lap cars. Actually going through traffic when you're on the lead lap cars is actually easier. But, it just, unfortunately, Williams collected him a little bit there. I don't know what's going on. They were obviously competing for something. I don't know. But it caused an issue for him. It lucked out for me, but he was able to get past me again. So, it was just back and forth the whole time. I knew the guy had a fast car. He obviously he had the second fastest lap in qualifying, but he had the fastest lap during that race. I was just trying to figure out something, man. I didn't have the whole race to really figure out the car. Just got stuck in some mess. Xfinity driver doesn't know where he's driving at, but just great racing with Shadow, man. Those fresh tires came into play for me, and I'm glad I got them.
Absolutely. You were in the back of the field for a majority of the race, but found yourself up in crunch time. Congrats again, Joe. Great race.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, Joe, a little bit of special weekend that we have here. It's Throwback Weekend at Darlington for the Southern 500. You want to bring up anything about your throwback scheme for that one?
Yeah, it's orange. It's got a Chevy logo on the hood. I think it's for Chevy accessories, I think. So if y'all want to go shop there, if you got a Chevy, by all means do it. Other than that, I really don't know. I think Kurt Busch owns one of these, like the original models, so I think that's what inspired it. Not my best throwback scheme, I would say, but hey, it's been in the victory lane twice now at Darlington, so it must be some luck to it.
Well, there you go, the old orange lightning, I guess you can call it. Joe, we've reached that point in the broadcast where you get to shout out whoever you want. Go ahead.
First shout out BPM, 3 wins in Cup. Man, it feels awesome. And shout out to you guys, obviously, for doing the broadcast and everything we could. We really appreciate it. Shout out everybody, too, excluding that Xfinity driver that raced with us tonight. He can, go, whatever himself. But everybody else was really great to run with and made it really competitive. And, man, I can't wait for the next race. This playoffs are getting really tight now.
All right, Joe, in a 5-second response, can you confirm that you're going to be back for the next series of the North American eRacing League Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series? Well, I guess it's just the Cup Series next year.
I'll be back.
All right, well, there you heard it. You heard it from our race winner here. You already heard his 3rd win of the Cup Series season. Joe, thank you for joining so quickly. If you don't mind, well, you can stick around if you want, but we've already got our runner-up finisher, Shadowhawk, already in the lobby. Shadowhawk, I know that's not exactly where you wanted to finish, but it was pretty close. How you feeling?
Yeah, you know what? I've never been so content and kind of just relaxed about a 2nd place finish. I had a blast. That was hella fun. It was hard. It's hard to pass here. It's because you can easily get into someone if you're side by side through the corners, or lose your car. You lose the front end. It's hard. But when you're on old tires like that, racing for the win, as it was with me and Joe, it's just a blast. And it was crazy because at the same time I was trying to stay with them and try and set them up, but at the same time I was trying to save tires. I was worried. I ended the race with like 2% on my right front, so one more lap I would have blown a tire. But it's just it was just a fun race. I can't be upset at that. It was just I got beat.
All right, so both of you guys have mentioned the tire wear here tonight. What is specifically challenging about Darlington compared to some other tracks when it comes to tire wear?
It seems like here you're really sliding more than other tracks because it's old, worn down surface. So you're really just kind of sliding, especially through turns 1 and 2. You're really sliding the car in, and then you got to kind of diamond out of the corners. So the tires are really kind of just sliding around the surface. And for me, going into turn 3, I used quite a bit of brake. So I'm sure that didn't help my case there in the end, trying to save tires. But once we took the white flag, I had 5% of my right front, and I was like, you know what, I just got to go for it. Either I win or I blow a tire. So, the tire held up, and I had a shot at Joe going into 3, and can't. I would be lying if I said I wasn't trying to hit him, but I didn't want to hit him too much. I don't even think I hit him at all. But just want to rattle his cage a little bit, and it is what it is. Good win for him.
Oh, fair enough. A little bit on throwback. We get a little throwback to Dale Earnhardt Sr. Anyways, Sharp, what you got for Shadowhawk?
Shadowhawk, hell of a run tonight on the P2 finish here. Noticed that you did pit a few laps ahead of Joe there, and we've seen that you've had the long run car all season long here, and it's come alive on the long runs for you there. Obviously, y'all thought that the fuel run would be a little bit longer than what it was, but you seem to just go back and forth between having the lead second, and then as the laps wound down, chasing him. Did you have that confidence in the car, despite the tires getting worn down, that you would be able to potentially get back to the lead?
Oh, when Joe passed us with, I don't know, 20 to go or whatever it was, he caught us. I mean, he caught me fast. So he was probably 1.2, 1.3 seconds once we cycled through the pit stops, and he caught me within like 5 laps. So, or I don't know how many laps, but it was not a lot. And my confidence was not too good there. I was worried that if he gets around me quickly, he's going to drive away. But I kind of just followed his tire tracks once he got in front of me, and I saw he was getting a little loose coming out of the corner, especially turn 2, and that's what helped me. My car was a little more tighter on the long run, and that benefited me. So, I mean, he that last stage, I don't know what he did to his car, but maybe put some turbo in it or something. But he was fast. I mean, geez, he was all over me. That I don't even think he was more than a second behind me that entire final stage. So, I mean, I don't know. It was fun driving. I don't know if it was fun for you guys watching him. Maybe it was, but I had a blast. So I can't be upset.
Yes, indeed. Well, P2 is nothing to be disappointed there. That was a fantastic run between the two of you tonight. So congrats on the P2 finish.
Thank you, Sharp.
All right. Well, Shadowhawk, we've reached that point in the broadcast where you get to shout out whoever you want. Who is that?
Well, as you know, I always shout out you, and Sharp, and whoever's broadcasting.
I feel so special.
So, shout out to the league, NARL. Shout out to K-Bart and Kevin, Joe, everyone who puts on the league every for the Xfinity trucks and Cup Series. It's fun every time you get to go race, and shout out to Joe for winning that race. That was one of the hardest fought battles I've had to try and win in the race ever. So it was just fun, and look ahead to the next one, and hopefully I'm tending to finish second a lot lately, so hopefully we get more wins here in the near future.
All right. Well, I would like to correct you, but you're not wrong. A lot of second place finishes, but you've also got a couple wins yourself. So I mean, it's not like you're a slouch or anything.
Yeah.
You're doing a pretty good job. Heck, you're leading the points here, and I'm sure the finish here tonight. The next race that you will see on this channel, the Truck Series, tomorrow night takes on Chicagoland. It's going to be the last race before the playoffs start. We've got up the irons. He's 11 points up on the playoff cut line. Lieutenant Dangles is minus 11 points. He's chasing down up the irons. And then There It Lies is only at minus 13 points. So we've got 3 drivers in the run for that final playoff spot. And they're going to take it all out on Chicagoland. That's going to have some tomorrow, 8:45. You already know the place because you're already here. Hope to see you there. You're going to see Big Jim in the booth, probably Swamp, maybe Gator. I don't know. Tune in and find out. I appreciate you joining in tonight. We'll see